This winter, I skied at both of the major resorts in the Catskills. They are Hunter Mountain, New York and Windham Mountain, New York. Located about 8 miles apart, these two resorts have a vastly different feel. Hunter is a Vail and previously Peak Resorts owned resort, while Windham is an independent resort. However, Windham does partner on the Icon Pass. Today, I'm going to rank the lifts in the Catskills. Let's get started. I skied at these resorts about 3 weeks apart. I skied Windham on January 24th, and it was an empty Monday. I skied Hunter on Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Again, it was empty. Windham had gotten about 3 inches of snow the night before, but Hunter hadn't had anything for a while, and it was supposed to rain while we were there. I'd been to Windham before, about last January or February, and this was my first time at Hunter. Together, these areas have 6 detachables, 9 fixed grips, and 7 carpets. As you should know by now, screw the carpets. But I didn't ride all of these lifts. Some ones that I didn't ride were all the beginner lifts on Hunter East, the E, H, and F lifts at Hunter as well, Zephyr Express at Hunter, K-Lift Triple at Windham, the Park Tow at Windham, and the Wheeler Double at Windham. Now let's start the ranking. Number 8, D-Lift, Hunter Mountain, New York. 1966 Palma Triple, now Palma/Partech Double. This old and unique X-Triple chair has some of the weirdest terminals ever. They're just like an Alpha terminal, but rotated 90 degrees. This weird terminal was added in 1981. Anyways, there's not much to this lift. Its only purpose is as a backup to the Catskill Flyer. It runs decently fast for a fixed grip, but it's still a 10-minute ride. Pretty short info here because there's not much to it. Number 7, Whiteway Triple, Windham Mountain, New York, 1984 Von Roll/Hall Triple, now Von Roll Hall C-Tech Triple, another converted lift here. This one is more or less the same as D-Lift at Hunter. It's slow and it doesn't really serve any terrain besides that park that they set up, which wasn't even open for me. So I didn't feel any reason to ride this except to access East Peak, and that access route is terrible. They route the downhill traffic on the higher route, which people can get off this lift, and they have the downhill people go lower, so they have to hike up to East Peak Express. Not a great design, not a great lift. Number 6, Broadway Quad, Hunter Mountain, New York, a 1996 Palma Alpha Quad. This is sort of like Hunter's Park Lift. There are a couple big terrain parks under it, but there's a problem with these. Many people have said that Vail doesn't care about terrain and bike parks, and that was very evident here. The terrain parks weren't open, and they had only set up like 3 elements to be opened at a later date. Now to the lift. It's fine. I will say the red towers on this look really cool. I think the top drive is super interesting too. The ramp off the unload is pretty long and steep, and I think some people had a bit of trouble with it while I was there. Number 5, Wonderama Express, Windham, New York, a 1993 Garaventa C-Tech Stealth 1 detachable quad. The former Whirlwind Express was relocated in 2018 when the West Side 6 moved in to replace it. Whirlwind then went on to replace the Wonderama Triple. So there's a short little history on Wonderama. This lift serves a beginner area of sorts, so it doesn't have great terrain. The reason I'm putting this over Broadway is because I knew that Wonderama's terrain isn't going to be the best, so it didn't let me down at all. It was exactly what I expected it to be. This lift uses Garaventa C-Tech AK4 double position grips, C-Tech bale chairs, and Stealth 1 terminals. About those terminals, they are super loud. The general thought as to why this is that something was damaged during the relocation. The lift usually runs at about 800 feet per minute, which is a perfectly fine speed for a beginner lift like this. Number 4, Catskill Flyer, Hunter Mountain, New York, a 2010 Palma Omega detachable 6-pack. I feel like Catskill Flyer, Northern Express, and East Peak Express are so close in terms of my ranking, but one has to bring up the rear, and I think Catskill Flyer gets that honor. Or, dishonor? Okay, so stuff I don't like and stuff I do like. The double combi towers are really cool. It ran a bit slow that day because it's super wind exposed, but the chairs are really comfortable. Still got a little bit more to say about this lift. Thought the trails off of it were pretty solid, but the snow conditions that day sucked. Alright, next lift. Number 3, East Peak Express, Windham Mountain, New York, a 2006 Doppelmayr C-Tech Uni GS detachable quad. I was super worried about East Peak when I went to Windham this time. Apparently, it had had issues with its hydraulic tensioning system due to the super cold weather. The lift was running very slowly and wasn't loading every other chair. On that day, January 24th, the lift was running at about 800 feet per minute, and it wasn't loading every chair because there were like 10 people riding it anyway. The lift pretty much kick-started my love of lifts, along with Wonderama, so it's a cool one to ride for me. The terrain off it would be really good, but there was a problem. Those 3 inches of snow that fell the night before disguised an ice rink below. I think I fell about 5 times on my first time down. There's a nice group of trails to lap off this lift. I have to say, the metal-backed Garavanted chairs on this lift kinda suck. Also, the lift really needs to pick up the pace. I clocked it at about 800 feet per minute this year, and 770 last year. If it speeds up, then it could truly be an elite lift to lap. Number 2. Northern Express, Hunter Mountain, New York. A 2018 Litner Palma detachable six-pack. Hunter's second six-pack is a good one. It opened serving a brand new expansion, Hunter North. It gave Hunter the title as the only New York resort to have 2 six-packs. I really do love this side of Hunter. When I was there, the snow was better and it was a lot less crowded. The trails off this lift also allow you to pick up some crazy speed. I clocked myself at about 55 miles an hour down some of these. There were a few great jumps before the speedy parts too. I also have a soft spot for these LPAs. I just freaking love their terminal sounds. They're just so sleek and I love it. The lift ran at about 830 feet per minute, which could be better, but I won't complain because this lift is actually pretty short. Number 1. Westside 6 at Windham Mountain, New York. A 2018 Doppelmayr Uni-G detachable 6. Right as Hunter was celebrating the opening of their second six-pack, Windham welcomed their first. This lift has it all. Steep trails into mellower trails, a pretty big terrain park, some cliff dive areas, and there's some unmarked glades you can ski in too. I absolutely love this lift. I lapped the terrain park so many times, and that cliff dive under the chair is the best natural jump on the mountain. This lift runs fast, at about 930 feet per minute on a Monday. It has pretty good capacity, and like I mentioned, it has really good terrain. It allows you to access every part of the mountain. So yeah, Westside 6 comes out on top, and it's not very close. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. See you next time.